Very good afternoon, all, and welcome back to our session on heat transfer. Uh, I hope my voice is very clearly audible to you. It's clear and loud. And now I'm going to share the screen, and that should be visible on your mobile or computer screen. If you have any trouble regarding audio or video signal, you can immediately and directly message me. You can put your message or feedback in a chat box or message box, or you can simply unmute yourself and directly talk with us. So I hope everything is okay. Since last couple of lectures, we have been in the exercise of problem solving. In that, four simple cases we have seen, and yesterday the last problem was of the heat transfer through composite hollow cylinder, that is composite tube or composite pipe. Heat Whenever there is a heat transfer across the pipe thickness or tube thickness, uh, we have to we have to go with the overall heat transfer coefficient theory, and we have to use the thermal resistances for convection as well as conduction, as the case may be. So this was the problem in which there was a steel tube carrying hot gas, and it was exposed to outside ambient air, which is at lower temperature, due to very high temperature difference gradient between hot gas inside the tube and outside air at low temperature. uh, heat transfer uh, Heat transfer is going to occur via convection as well as by conduction across the pipe wall material, and for that matter we have to use the concept of overall heat transfer coefficient, and thereby we have to go for thermal resistances. In the same way we will proceed for some other types. So the next problem statement is in front of you. I hope it is clearly visible to you, so that you can read yourself as well as you can listen to my voice. So I'm going to read out the statement. Just a minute. Now it should be okay. The problem statement is like this: steam at 350 degrees Celsius is flowing through pipe K 80 watt per meter Kelvin. In bracket, it means the conductivity of a pipe material is given of 5 centimeter inner diameter and 5.6 centimeter outer diameter. It's covered with 3 centimeter thick insulation of K equal to 0.05. Now unit is not given, so it is a usual unit, that is, or a regular unit of watt per meter Kelvin, SI unit. Heat loss to surroundings at 5 degrees Celsius by natural convection and radiation. The combined small h means heat transfer coefficient being 20 watt per meter square Kelvin. Taking heat transfer coefficient inside the pipe as 60 watt per meter square Kelvin. Find We have to find two quantities. Number one, rate of heat loss from steam pipe per unit length of pipe. And number two, temperature drop across pipe and insulation. Okay, so the case given or situation is like this: there is a steam flow inside a metallic tube, and it has conductivity K, which is given 80 watt per meter Kelvin, which is quite high. So it is a metallic tube, and its dimensions are given. Inner diameter is 5 centimeter and outer is 5.6 centimeter. So since this is a tube, so it certainly has some thickness, radial thickness. Now this steel tube, this metallic tube which is carrying the steam inside it, is now covered with insulation from outside. Insulation cover is provided so that heat loss can be minimized. Heat transfer from inside to outside air can be minimized because steam is at very high temperature. Look at the temperature, which is 350 degrees Celsius, and this tube is exposed to surroundings which is at very very low, that is 5 degrees Celsius. So 350 minus 5, 345 degrees Celsius temperature gap. This is a very very huge temperature difference. Because of this, heat transfer will occur from inside steam to outside surrounding, and that we have to necessarily reduce. Okay, we have to essentially reduce, otherwise there will be energy loss pertaining to that particular process. Okay, and the convection uh, at the outside tube, when heat is being lost, it is by convection because its surrounding is usually surrounding is air, ambient air. So its heat transfer coefficient is given 20 watt per meter square Kelvin, and heat transfer coefficient for inside the tube, that is for steam, it is also given, it is 60 watt per meter square Kelvin. So from the given information we can draw a diagram like this. Okay, so this is a tube pipe flow or a tube flow. So we will look at the cross section. So in cross section we get this concentric circles. So this hatched region, which is hatched with dash lines. This is actually inner pipe, a metallic pipe having inner radius and outer radius, and it has some thickness. Okay, and through inside the tube or this pipe, steam is flowing inside the tube. This inside area inside tube, steam is flowing, and its temperature is Ti. Let us say this its temperature is Ti. Okay, and this temperature is given, which is 350 degrees Celsius. Now this pipe is covered by insulation cover from outside. Okay, so this pipe is wrapped by the insulation material like this. So it is providing some thickness of insulation, and it is given, its thickness is 3 centimeter. Thickness value is given, that is 3 centimeter, and length of pipe we have to take as 1 meter. Okay, length of pipe will not be seen in this because it will be perpendicular to the this plane of paper. Okay, as we are providing insulation, so certainly it will have a radius r3 associated with it. So we can see three concentric circles. Inner circle with radius r1, that pertains to the inside surface of the pipe. Then r2, that is intermediate radius, that pertains to outer radius of the pipe material. And since insulation is immediately applied here on the same surface, so tube and insulation are sharing the same interface area. So R2 will be R2 will also be the inner radius of insulation material, because insulation material also forming a concentric pipe like structure. Okay, concentric pipe. So it has inner radius r2 and it has outer radius r3. Okay, so r2 has two different meanings. For pipe it is outer radius, but for insulation it is inner radius. Okay, and the uh, outside of this insulation pipe, insulated pipe, is now exposed to this surface area, is exposed to outside air or ambient or surrounding, which is at 5 degrees Celsius. So let us denote it by TO. So Ti is inside temperature, TO is the outside temperature. Now see, because of this, temperature gradient will be set up. Temperature gradient. So temperature gradient means the temper, temperatures will be established in successive manner and in decreasing order. Okay, so now see here, let us say T1 is the temperature of inside surface, which is very close to Ti. Now Ti is higher than T1. Ti is higher than T1. Then subsequently some lower temperature will be set up at the interface T2, and T3 will be again lower than this T2, and this will be in decreasing and successive order, and T3 will be the surface temperature of insulation layer, and lastly TO is the outside air temperature, which is at lowest point. Okay, so right from 350, which is the highest, and 5 is the lowest temperature. Intermediate temperatures get set up like this: T1, T2, and T3. Okay. So all the given information we can show on this diagram. Length of pipe given L, capital L, 1 meter. Inside it is steam, Ti 350. HI, heat transfer coefficient inside, for inside steam, is 60 watt per meter square Kelvin. And for outside air, it is HO, 20 watt per meter square Kelvin. Now look at this, how heat transfer is occurring. Again, we are assuming it is a steady state heat transfer, so all these temperatures will remain same throughout the problem. They will not vary according to time. And how heat transfer is occurring? First, the steam. First, there will be heat transfer from steam to inner solid surface area of pipe. That is by convection. So from Ti to T1, it is by convection. Then from inner surface of pipe or tube to outer surface of pipe or tube, it is by conduction, because this is a solid material. Pipe material is solid. Again, insulation is also a solid material. So from T2 to T3, heat conduction will take place, and then the same heat will transfer to outside air or ambient air. That is by convection, because air is a fluid, and it is certainly in contact with this solid insulation layer. So solid insulation outer surface. Okay, so the inside there is a convection, then conduction, again conduction through insulation, and lastly convection. Okay, so there are two convections and two conductions, and all will have the same heat transfer rate. So again, uh, in some in short form, we can show the temperature gradients in successive decreasing orders, from Ti to T1, then T1 to T2, T2 to T3. Temperature levels are successively decreasing, and lastly Tu. Okay, and heat transfer is occurring in a succession manner. So it is in series. Okay, so if you look at this, we can set up the equivalent thermal resistance circuit, and the resistances will be: first is convective resistance, then conductive resistance of pipe material, then another resistance of insulation material, and lastly convective resistance due to air. So all these resistances are forming a series connection. So thermal circuit is set up as you can see in the diagram. Ri, inside convective resistance, R1 conductive resistance of pipe material, R2 conductive resistance of insulating material, and RO uh, convective resistance of outside air. Likewise, temperatures we can show: Ti and To is the total temperature difference, which is associated with entire series connection. In between temperatures, T1, T2, T3 can be shown, and this is a series connection. So heat transfer rate will be the same, passing through resistances, all these resistances. Okay, so we have a general equation: Q equal to delta T upon summation R thermal. Summation R thermal is the total thermal resistance or equivalent thermal resistance. Delta T, we are using the entire temperature difference, Ti minus To. So this equivalent thermal resistance will be the addition of all the resistance components in series. So it will be calculated by adding four components in series. Now we have to find individual values of Ri, R1, R2, and R0. Okay, so Ri equal to 1 upon Hi into Ai. 1 upon Hi is, we will put all the values in SI units. Hi is given 60 watt per meter square Kelvin. Ai, surface area of the cylinder, that is 2 pi R1 into L. Surface area of inside of the tube, that will be 2 pi R1 into L, is equal to 1 upon 60 into 2 pi into R1 radius. Inner radius is, now see, we have been given diameters. We have been given inner diameter and outer diameters. So radius can be obtained by dividing by 2. So half of diameter is radius. So D1 is 5 centimeter. So R1 will be 5 by 2, 2.5 centimeter. And D2 is 5.6 centimeter. So it will be R2 equal to this divided by 2.8 centimeter. So these are obtained in centimeters. While calculations in calculations we have to convert them into meters. Then insulation thickness is 3 centimeters. So R3 will be obtained by adding this thickness to R2. R2 plus 3 equal to 2.8 plus 3, 5.8 centimeter. So all R1, R2, and R3 are available, and we have to convert them in meters. So 2 pi into 0.025 meter into length is anyway meter. So calculate this, you get 0.1061 degrees Celsius per watt or Kelvin per watt. Now conductive resistance is given by a standard formula of conductive resistance for a hollow cylinder, that is log to the base e. Now see, while calculation, while using your calculators, you have to use the log to the base e. Uh, Usually on calculators it is given, uh, it is printed as ln. It is printed as ln. If you look at your calculator, buttons are printed like ln. Ln means natural log, and it can, it is sometimes represented as log to the base e. Okay, so you have to use ln button on your calculator. So ln of r2 by r1 divided by 2 pi k1l. This ratio is like always outer radius upon inner radius. For inside pipe, it is r2 by r1. Put the values. So ln of 2.8 divided by 2.5 divided by 2 pi into conductivity of pipe material is 80 into 1 is the length. So you get this 2.2546 into 10 raised to minus 6 degrees Celsius per watt. Degrees Celsius per watt. Then R2 in the same manner you can calculate. Now for insulating cover or insulating material, this ratio will change because outer radius is R3 and inner radius is R2. So ln of R3 by R2 divided by 2 pi K2 into L equal to log of this ratio divided by 2 pi. Conductivity of insulation material is 0.05. So you get 2.318 into degrees Celsius per watt. Then outside resistance is 1 upon HO into area AO. Then 1 upon HO is given 20 watt per meter square Kelvin into area, outside area based on outer radius R3. So it will be 2 pi R3L. Put the values, you get 0.1372 degrees Celsius per watt. Again, in the last couple of lectures also, I, I had advised you about the caution note that you have to be careful about these digits beyond the decimal point. Okay, so don't fix your calculator to any number of decimal points, or don't fix the zeros after the uh, decimal points. Normally, you do this in, I think, in the class of strength of materials, or even design. You are also studying design. Uh, in that part, it is okay because the values are much larger. Usually you don't go beyond 2 decimal points of the any answer or any value. But that is not the case of heat transfer. In case of heat transfer, this uh, beyond this decimal point, you are bound to get up to 8 digits or even 9 digits. So up to that accuracy we have to calculate, because some values are like this and some values are very large. So the range of numbers that we have to cover in heat transfer is very large. So it is always advisable, or always good to fix as default setting. In default settings, there is no any fixation of zeros, so you can up to 10 raised to minus 9 zeros can be available in the answer. So uh, take away, key point to take away from this is, uh, don't fix up the zeros in calculator setting. If you have done so, go to the calculator setting and clear all and set it to default, so that you will have all options available. Okay, so here you can get that idea. Here you are getting this 2.2546 into 10 raised to minus 4. So if and if you fix the zero values, what will happen? everything will be rounded up to, let us say you have fixed up to 2 decimal points. So for all these very small values will be either rounded up to 0, you will get a 0 value, or they will be rounded up to 0.01. So there is a possibility that you may get all values at 0.01. So if you use those values, you are certainly going to make errors. Okay, and even though your procedure is okay, you are going to get wrong results or wrong answers. So that is why it is a uh, caution note that don't fix up the zeros. Put it as it is. Okay, put it to default. This, so let us add up all those resistances, ro ri, r1 and r2. You get total thermal resistance as 2.5615 degrees celsius per watt. Then put in heat transfer rate equation. Q equal to Ti minus To is Ti 350, To is 5. So 350 minus 5 divided by this thermal resistance 2.5615. We get heat transfer rate as 134.68 watt. 134.68 watt. So rate of heat loss is this value. So this is answer number 1. Now in answer number 2, question number 2, we have to find the temperature drop across the pipe and across the thickness. If you go back to the diagram, you will get this idea. Okay, this diagram. We have been asked to find temperature drop, that is temperature drop means temperature difference delta T across the pipe and across the thickness. So across the pipe, temperature drop will be T1 minus T2. It will be inside it is T1 and outside of the pipe it is T2. So temperature drop across this thickness is delta T, that is T1 minus T2. In the same way for insulation, it insulation thickness, it will be T2 minus T3. Okay, so we have to find temperature differences. First T1 minus T2 for pipe, and then T2 minus T3 for insulation. For that matter, we have to find these intermediate temperatures. Okay, so here we know only inside temperature and outside temperature. These temperatures T1, T2, T3 all have to be found out. Those can be found out um, using the concept of series connection. In series connection, heat transfer rate remains same for all the resistances. So we can write Q equal to T1 minus T2 upon R1, because delta T we have taken only T1 minus T2. So resistance associated is pipe resistance, that is conductive resistance R1. So from this, uh, anyway, we have to find out the temperature difference. So no need to find individual temperatures. We can directly get this drop value or drop in temperature. It's T1 minus T2 equal to Q into R1. Q is 134.68 into resistance R1 was already found, 2.2546 into 10 to minus 4. So you get T1 minus T2 at 0.03 degrees Celsius. It is very small value, because pipe is of metallic material. Since it has very high conductivity, the temperature drop is going to be very small. Okay. Then temperature across the insulation is T2 minus T3. We can use the same equation, Q equal to T2 minus T3 upon R2. So Q into R2. R2 is the conductive resistance of insulation material, that is 2.318. So you multiply, you get temperature drop 312.18 degrees Celsius. Okay. So temperature drop across the insulation is very large as compared to temperature drop across the pipe is very small. Okay. So because of high conductivity of pipe, what happens is there is almost no change in temperature inside and temperature at outside. Okay, both surfaces will have nearly same temperature. On the other hand, for insulation, that is not so. Okay, because of its very poor conductivity or low thermal conductivity. Okay, so these with this two different cases of composite cylinder are now over. Now let's move to some more other variety of the problems. Okay, now next problem is like this. I hope you are able to see. see the screen clearly, as well as you are able to read it on your screen. Okay. uh, okay, instead of this, what I will do is, uh, I will go to the problems on critical radius of insulation, so that will be like continuation of whatever we have been discussing. Okay, we have just covered the cases of heat transfer across the composite cylinder, that is a composite pipe or composite tube. Critical radius of insulation is also based on the same theory, because radius of insulation is applicable for pipe material as well as sphere material. So we will take that part now. So that will be in continuation. Then we will come back to other cases of plain wall and other things. Okay. So just a slight change in problems. I hope you are able to see the screen. I will just make it more enlarged. Yes, any one of you, please give me confirmation. Are you able to see the change in the screen? I have changed the screen from one window to another window. Are you able to see?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Shubham, you want to say something, or you
No,
have
sir.
any question?
No, sir.
Uh,
Green is
you are
visible.
able to see the change in the screen.
Yes, sir.
स्क्रीन चेंज के लिए दिसते है ना?
हो सर.
हां, नवीन दुसरं डॉक्युमेंट उघडलंय, दुसरं प्रॉब्लेम आहे. दिसतंय? प्रॉब्लेम नाही आहे. ओके.
Yes.
So let us read the problem statement and try to understand the situation. An electrical conductor of 10 diameter, insulated by PVC. PVC is another material. In bracket, it is given K equal to 0.18 watt per meter degree Celsius. Sorry, just a little change. Before this, we will take the simpler case problem. Then we will come back to this problem, because this is quite a lengthier problem, and it also involves a lot of discussion. So before that, we will discuss one small and simple problem, so that we will get used to the conditions, or used to this kind of situations. Okay, just a minute. Once again, I need confirmation from your side. Any one of you, are you able to see this change in the screen? Say just only yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Uh, are you able to read like this? Number 7 is visible, and a pipe of outer diameter. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A pipe of outer diameter 20 is to be insulated with asbestos, which has thermal conductivity 0.1 watt per meter Kelvin. Heat transfer coefficient is 5 watt per meter square degree Celsius. Comment on the suitability of asbestos as an insulating material. What should be the maximum value of thermal conductivity of insulating material to reduce the heat transfer directly? Okay. Now the situation is like this. Some pipe is given. It has outer diameter 20 It is to be insulated. So this is very similar case to what we just covered a problem. Okay, we just solved a problem on the same case, that is metallic pipe having some insulation and heat transfer occurring through it. Okay, the same case problem is based on the same case, that a pipe carrying some hot fluid. It has the outer diameter of 20 and it is to be insulated with asbestos material. and its thermal conductivity is given zero point 0.1 watt per meter Kelvin. Heat transfer coefficient is 5 watt per meter square degree Celsius. That is, the heat transfer from the insulation to the surrounding air will happen by convection. So convection coefficient is given. Now we have to comment on the suitability of asbestos as an insulating material. So what we have been asked is, we have to uh, we have to check whether this asbestos material is suitable insulation material for given case or not. And a second question is, what should be the maximum value of thermal conductivity of insulation material to reduce the heat transfer directly? Okay, so there are two questions. First, we have to check the suitability of asbestos as an insulating material. And second question, if it is suitable, what should be the maximum value of thermal conductivity so that heat transfer rate, so that we can reduce heat transfer rate. Okay. So for this, we have to use the theory of critical radius of insulation. In theory part, we had covered that, and also derived the expression for critical radius of insulation for hollow cylinder, this hollow pipe, and as well as hollow sphere. Okay, that value is a very simple formula. Critical radius of insulation is equal to K by H. K, where K is thermal conductivity of insulating material, divided by H being the heat transfer coefficient of surrounding air or surrounding ambient fluid. Okay. Now, pipe dimensions are given like this. Outer diameter is 20 mm. So let us find the outer radius of pipe, R2 equal to diameter by 2, 20 by 2, that is 10 mm. Asbestos material is given, and its insulation value, its conductivity value is zero point 0.1 watt per meter degree Celsius or watt per meter Kelvin. R2 is in 10 mm. Now we have to convert this in meters, so it is 0.010 meter. Heat transfer coefficient of surrounding fluid, that is 5 watt per meter square Kelvin or degree Celsius. Critical radius of insulation for pipe, it is given by K by H, as I just defined that it is K by H. K insulation material, that is zero point 0.1 divided by H is 5. So RC value we get 0.02 meter. 0.02 meter means it is 20 millimeter. It is 20 millimeter. Okay. And when we apply the insulation, and when we apply the insulation material, a radius of insulation will be R3, a new radius, because pipe insulation is going to be provided over the surface area of the pipe. Pipe radius is R2, and when we increase the thickness of insulation, the outer radius will increase to R3. Okay, so radius of insulation will be R3. Now here we see that R2 is less than RC. The R2 outer radius of the pipe material is less than critical radius, because it is 0.01 meter in a given situation, which is less than the critical radius, which is 0.02 meter. Okay. So we had discussed these cases. Whenever there is a condition like this, outer radius of pipe is less than critical radius, what will happen as we go on adding insulation to the over the pipe, its radius is going to increase. Okay. So because of addition of insulation material over the pipe surface, uh, till R3 reaches to RC, R3 radius of insulation is going to increase above R2, and till it becomes RC, what will happen? Any thickness will any thickness of insulation will always increase the heat transfer rate. Okay, so purpose of insulation is to avoid the heat transfer rate or minimize the heat transfer rate, but reverse will happen. We get to see that here reverse thing will happen because of this condition. Whenever there is outer radius less than critical radius, uh, under this condition, whenever we add any material, any insulation material, it is going to increase the heat transfer rate, so it will be reverse of its purpose. Okay, so purpose of insulation will fail here. So it will be a meaningless thing to provide any insulation, because by just adding insulation, heat transfer rate is going to increase. Okay, so this will happen up to the point R3 equal to RC, when R3 reaches to critical radius. Okay, so in this situation it will demand for excessively higher thickness. So for decrease in heat flow, and cost of insulation will also be higher than required or expected or anticipated. Okay, so for direct reduction in heat transfer, condition is outer radius of outer radius of pipe material should be greater than or equal to critical radius of insulation. Greater than or equal to critical radius of insulation. So this should be the condition. Okay, then and then only the insulation will be beneficial. Okay, it will serve its purpose. It will serve its purpose of reducing the heat transfer rate. Okay, so that will be possible when this condition is crossed. Okay, so first answer is this. Okay, we have commented upon the suitability of insulation, asbestos insulation material. Asbestos is not suitable material in this condition. Okay, so first answer is that asbestos is not sufficient or suitable material. And second answer, for direct reduction in heat transfer, condition is this. Let us now find out how what conductivity value is required to suffice this condition. So R2 greater than or equal to K by H. R2, let us put the existing pipe radius, that is 0.01 meter, equal to K by H. Now K is unknown. We are trying to find some other substitute material than asbestos. Okay, so asbestos is not suitable. Then we have to look for another material having other conductivity value. So that conductivity should be, from this we get 0.05 watt per meter degrees Celsius. Okay, so in a given situation, if we want to reduce the heat transfer rate, the insulation material should have conductivity of 0.05 watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, it should be the maximum value, or lesser will be much more desirable. Okay, K value lesser than this will be much more desirable. So instead of asbestos, the final answer will be, look for insulation material having K max as, that is maximum conductivity up to 0.05 watt per meter Kelvin, because at this maximum value heat transfer rate will be maximum, because critical radius it will be insulation radius will be critical one. Okay, so we have to look for some other material having conductivity less than 0.05. So in given situation, asbestos is not suitable. We have to look for some other material like thermocol, or uh, foam material, plastic foam material, which will have lesser conductivity than 0.05. Okay, so in this way, critical radius insulation theory that becomes very helpful and useful tool to decide whether uh, for any given situation to reduce the heat transfer rate, uh, whether the selected material is suitable or not, that we can decide. And also we can decide on thickness of that material for a given situation, or we can change the dimensions of the pipe. Okay, either we will increase the diameter, radius of the pipe, or we can think of some other different material. Okay, so these many benefits are there, or possible options are there uh, to check for the viability or liability of the uh, insulation material providing insulation. Okay, now let us look at another problem. Now this problem is of little different type. Okay, in theory of critical radius of insulation, we have seen two cases. One, that insulation provided for decreasing the heat transfer rate, which is normally seen in case of pipe flows or mechanical systems, where we have to reduce the heat transfer rate either from hot fluid to surrounding, or it may be from surrounding to the cold fluid. Okay, generally that is seen in case of mechanical pipe flow systems. But when we come to electrical uh, electrical wires and conductors, uh, which are also which are also covered with insulation, rubber type of insulation or plastic material insulation. There actually what happens is insulation provided in electrical conductor. Their main purpose is to prevent the current flow, prevent the electric current flow, and thereby prevent the fatal electric shocks and all. Okay, but at the same time, heat is also getting generated. The conductors, whenever electrical conductor carries the current for significantly large amount of time, what happens is lot of heat is generated. And it is your common experience whenever you see all the electronic components or devices, when they are operated over over a longer time, they become hot. Okay, they become very hot. As you see, your mobile phones get heated, and its temperature goes up. Okay, it warms up. Same is the case with your laptop or any digital device or any computer, even TV sets. All these, when you operate over a larger time or over a longer time, let us say half an hour or more than hour, all are going to get heated. Okay, this is like inherent material property uh, of conducting materials, that whenever there is a current flow, just because of the electrical resistance inside them, there is going to be heat generation. Heat is always generated. Okay, so this, due to this heat generation, their temperatures always go on increasing. And uh, so whatever heat is generated, that should be dissipated, away, that should be removed, so that the temperature can be maintained within the safe zone or within the safe operating limits. Okay, so the uh, all the conductors, electrical wires which are provided with the electrical insulation, uh, those materials also have to do the job of heat removal or heat dissipation. Okay, and their thermal conductivity and property should be such a way that they should allow maximum amount of heat loss from the conductor, and thereby maintain the temperature of the conductor below certain limit, below certain allowable limit. Okay. Okay, I think this problem is some lengthier, and it is going to take some more amount of time, as uh, we are past 1:30 p.m. So almost it is near to the close or end of this lecture. So what we will do, better way, we'll stop our discussion this point, and we will carry on in the next lecture. Okay, so for time being, we will stop at this moment. Let me record your attendance, and then you can depart. All these problems I'm going to share on Google Classroom, and assignments will be provided based on the same type of problems. All those you have to do on your own, just taking the reference of the study material. So all the kind of help is available, only it is matter of your practice. Okay. Okay, thank you, you may leave now.